live. I feel like it's better this way. Just put pressure on yourself. Oh crap, I forgot to rename the stream title though. Okay.
First stream.
Trivial Matters versus... Is this NFO Light? Is that their name?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Okay, let's pull that up. Looks like I'm live. Alright, cool. Just wait for people to hop in and all of that. Work on an announcement too. So, I guess before we get started, let's have a quick discussion. Where are we at? Do we think we're doing well? Obviously, you guys moved up a division, pretty certain. At least I hope so. That'd be weird if I just didn't know anything, but...
Yes, we did.
My mouse
just
disappeared.
From D10 to D9.
Okay. And this is first season without Smiley, right? I'm guessing. So, adjustment period, I'm assuming, and all that.
A little. I think for the whole team, we started off pretty strong at the beginning of MKU.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it took a lot of us to surprise.
Yeah.
Because we had expectations that, of course, moving up a div and would be certainly a lot harder. But the past couple weeks, or I think particularly last week, we went 0-2.
Okay.
And I think that it was a little bit eye-opening. I think some people were a little bit sad about it. So we obviously had to do some reminding of, hey, yeah, we moved up a division. There are really good teams in this division.
Yeah.
What can we do better? And what can we do to perhaps... We still have playoffs in sight. So.
Yeah. So it was a 3-1 start, and now y'all are 3-3. So it's like, you gotta make the push, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the updated division standings and all that, but 3-3, very much in the thick of things. I know, when you look at, your typical, like, sports leagues and all that kind of stuff, you expect the playoff teams to all have winning records and all that, but thing with MKU, at the very least, that should be promising for a team that's 500 through 3 weeks is that half the teams make the division playoffs. So if you are at 500, you are right at that borderline. So really all you have to do is just find a way to either win 3 games or maybe even keep pace, depending on how the division's really lining up. A lot of times there's some teams that are just, that they run away with it and nobody else does win. So like 4 and 6 and 5 and 5 teams make it and all that. But obviously the worry about that situation is that yeah, you make the playoffs, but are you actually like going to contend for the division with those teams that run away with the division? So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of value to trending upward in the second half of the season, I would say, for sure. All right, give it a few more minutes, hoping that we get more. So, so here's the thing. I'm gonna stream this. We're live right now. Feel free to, of course, talk, bring up questions and all that. This is for you guys after all, but of course, I'm kind of wanting to do more content like this to begin with, right? We're talking about 6v6 and, how to improve and all that. I kind of realized recently that I think I like talking more about 6v6 than I do playing 6v6 sometimes. It's weird. That happens sometimes when you watch your team play MKU and you're not good enough to start for them. So you start thinking about ways that they can have an edge and all of that. So yeah. All right, and of course, I'll probably be responding to the chat also. Maybe the chat will have recommendations even. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know really what to expect right now. My hope is that for all the people that were in the lineup that they can get in the call, or even other TM members if they want to hop in. If you have access to the call, feel free to join. Right? Don't. I'd like it to be like last time also. Even if you all have the stream up in the background too. It's mainly just open for public discourse. And as mentioned, I'll stop talking in just a second. I promise. We're going with positive vibes here, y'all. So if I see any toxicity or flaming, y'all are gonna get the boot. Okay? We're all at different places, all having our own goals and all of that. Everybody works their way up from one point. I'm sure there's going to be some stronger players who are in the chat. There's going to be some weaker players in the chat, right? Point is, just thinking about stuff analytically, right? So we can all achieve our own personal goals, because that's what matters truly. So, watching all. I don't know if we have any moderators right here. All right, who wants mod?
Just make Brat mod real quick.
You want Brat to be mod?
Of course.
Okay, Brat, I'll do it. I will not. Unfortunately, as compensation, I will be removing you off my friend roster, though, Triv. So there it is. Okay, I think Brat has mod. She can ban toxic people. All right. Are we expecting anybody else?
I know we have a few people that are in this lineup that will be watching the VOD later. So
okay. All right. So what was the lineup exactly again? I just want to make sure I'm getting. I see like the Mii's on the left side, right? And I know that one is Bean, but now there's Bean 2 in this call also. So it's like, what's going on there?
Yeah, so there's Bean and there's Steen.
What a duo.
Bean was in lineup for this, as well as Yu and Captain and Dom, Schism, and myself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Say that. I was getting angry because Mist is harassing me to play Crash Team Racing again.
Oh my god.
Repeat it, please.
So we had Yu, we had Bean, we had Captain, Dom, Schism, and myself.
So we go with Dom and Captain, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Like there's a player called Jack in the past also, spelled J-A-K and all that. So it's like I don't know if like
same person.
The same person.
Yeah.
Do you know about that guy? He was insane.
We've always had a Captain Fat Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, the original Jack was absolutely insane. He was like the best 8U player when it came out originally. Wow, that feels like such a long time ago. Alright, that's Captain, got it. And it's UU at the top, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. I want to I'm so jealous of like these names on the left side. I just want to say. Like with the Mii's and all of that. It's just so needlessly extra, and I'm just all for it, right? Do they like light up when you guys speak, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's ridiculous. All right. Okay. So before I guess we get into these races and stuff, this is a close match, correct?
Yeah, we only lost by 20.
Okay. So there was a lot of good in here also, I'm guessing, but some not so good as well.
Okay. From memory, we started off a little slow.
Alright.
But we brought it back.
This is the hard part about like doing these calls and stuff, is like you never know if like people are like responding or if like they're just talking like on the actual stream and all of that. So I may just do comms off to start, but obviously that's like an important thing to look into as well as things go by. So we may turn it on if it's deemed necessary. Alright, interesting beginning. You know, on Twisted Mansion, the speed run, the bots, the AI are just completely ridiculous, and they just push you like that. It's kind of funny to see it in actual war. Alright, so, again, another preface here also. At the end of the day, you know, what your strategy is frequently going to be based on, you know, what the other team gives you, right? Like, you know, Twisted Mansion, kind of a track that can be bag heavy right now, but it seems that nobody's really doing it, so people are content to just, you know, do a normal, functional 6v6. Right here, you know the error right here, just pointing it out, of course, right? No need to hold on to shrooms. Well, at least in this stage of the race, because you're just going to get more at the box anyway. Might as well give yourself maybe a chance to pull star, but I don't know if you could have been in star range. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're schmoovin', okay.
I'm laggy.
Yeah, you're laggy. Okay. Yeah, I can't really judge the decision to not chain there a ton, because, you know, you weren't really in range to begin with. I think you just take these tight coins right here, right? I don't know if you were leaving them for a teammate. Maybe you were. It's very possible. Okay. Maybe I should turn the call audio on right now. Yeah, this is like a weird...
And then we won't talk. I mean, we can just not talk until...
No, it's okay.
Pause or something.
Yeah, I'll call on the class. Yes. So, this is interesting to me right here, because it seems like... You know, that was your first actual chance of pulling it, right? At this point in the race, it's like we're halfway in right here, but we've kind of like decided it's like, all right. I mean, this isn't going to be a shock right here. First is not super far away. Kind of unlucky to get, you know, just a single shroom also, but yeah. Priority right there should obviously be looking at what dash he has right now. Doesn't appear that's a shock, but you know, you never know about the pocket item. Because at this point, I would almost say it's too... I mean, I guess it's never too late to start bagging, especially if, you know, it's deemed that, like, you know, they have the top spots and all of that. But, it is weird to see, like, this being, like, the first attempt, I guess. And it can work out because, you know, NFO isn't really super hard bagging also. It's just you gotta be prepared to win up front. At this point, there's no reason to go wide, of course. Oh, Dashy. So, did you guys need the shock here? Do you remember?
I'd have to hear comms, but I'm pretty sure we did.
Okay.
At this point.
Yeah. At this point, I think... Here's the thing, you know, we talk about stars, right? And, like, holding stars into sets, you know, helping and all that kind of stuff. For pulling shock and all that. I guess, like, at this point, you're going wide not to, you know, catch up, but to, you know, go for the shock to begin with. I think at this point, there's no reason to not. Just, like if, at this point, I would not have these items, but rather, I would have, like, one shroom left from my triple shrooms. I would have used the star already, used 2 of the shrooms, because you're not going to be able to get the benefit of this star right here at the first set. It looks like you almost won it in a sense, right? But no problem. No, is it dark? How do we refer? Is it just Dave, or like is the dark essential? I need to know. Thanks for reviewing our war. Gonna look into it later. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, back on the topic right here. The stars in the first slot, you had triple shrooms behind it, so that star is not going to influence like any shock roll whatsoever. So at this point, you might as well just roll into the box with 1 shroom remaining. Because it's revolving around you, it will still count it as triple shrooms, if that makes sense. It won't give you triple shrooms again behind it. So you will take, you know, triple shrooms out of the rotation as long as you hit this box with only 1 shroom remaining. And that's more convenient because it's easier to chain that way. Right, at this point, it's like you got the boost, you got a boosted roll, in a sense. I don't know, like, how bad this actually was. It's just, like, it seemed like you could have prepared a little bit better. Just Dave, okay. So, at this point, it's like, you roll into this box with 1 shroom, you're going to get the item you get, and you don't have to mash 3 times, you just mash once, so you don't have to back up as far, pretty much. At this point, if you're truly going for shock, I would have used the bill already, by the way. Because if you did pull the shock behind this bullet bill, you would have to wait extra time. And at this point, we're approaching the glider also. So, you know, it's going to be, it's something that you're going to want to have available as soon as possible. I know in this situation right here, it feels like, oh, I just didn't get, I didn't get the shock, so, like, there's nothing much I can do also. But the important takeaway, I think, is that because the objective at this point isn't catching up as much as it is, you know, trying to get a shock to switch the race and all of that, you should have used the bill, like, almost immediately. Because there's no... The only thing you want is the possibility of getting the shock out as soon as possible, because you can't use the second item until this bill is over. Also, for the record, I think you want to, like, just in general, as like a general tip, if you guys are like using this bullet bill spot, you actually want to use the bill in the later part of the cut. Sometimes you can like SMT and like hop and get into the second half. And the reason for this is because of like where it releases you. You're gonna see it right here. It's gonna release in like kind of a weird area where you're just like already kind of at the wall. And if you can like extend it just like a minute or two, or not a minute or two, obviously that's like half the race, but like if you can extend it like half another second or something like that, then you should be able to turn the corner just a little bit better. Alright, so I see some activity in the chat going on right now. This is what we like to see. We'll get to it in just a minute. Let's finish this race up. I've seen they were holding blue behind something, or just pulled it. Alright, foot race. Dang, we're talking shit already, Triv. It's race 1. Alright. So obviously, I think, from what I can tell, you guys actually win the rest of the war from this point on. It's just this was obviously a big hit at the very beginning. Slow starts can sometimes be killer, right? Obviously, it's good that, you know, it didn't compile into something greater, right? But these are the starts that you often want to avoid. We all know this, of course, but I think my first thought is, you know, it is Twisted Mansion and stuff. Maybe everybody felt they were in a good position at one point and something did go wrong. But I think I would have been trying to roll for shock, or like having one person roll for shock by the end of lap 1 rather than the end of lap 2. Because there weren't many possibilities to pull it. Now, if you guys had the top spots established, because I don't actually know if you did.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
honestly.
that would change a lot, and I don't know if I want to go back through and like try to like listen and stuff, especially since, you know, we have a lot of races to get through. But you can see that's kind of the distinction though, because it seems like you guys are like the ones that needed it more, and you know, if you guys did need it more, like one bagger's not enough, I think. But it seemed like the pack was just like, look at the end of lap 1, like nobody's in range right now, so it's like this benefits whoever's going to actually be able to hold on to first. Alright, I'm taking a look at the chat real quick. Cap'n, thanks for the raid. Hopefully we can get some stuff going. Brat's already active as a banner. Let's go. Jake, what's up? This war is actually worse than against RR before, but somehow won close. Okay. So this is like, so you like played a team that gave you bigger struggles but actually won that war but didn't win this one, if I'm not mistaken. Would that be true? Maybe. I don't know. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I don't know if Bean and Steen are still here. They're just watching somewhere else.
No, Bean had to run an errand real quick. He'll be
Okay.
back.
No worries. Alright, I see Steen also
No,
just watching on
I
Twitch.
don't know who Dave is though.
Okay.
I
Understood.
think Dave was on NFO.
Oh, okay, so Dave's looking at the other perspective. Dave, unfortunately, you are the enemy of this stream since we are watching the TM perspective. I think look, Dave's on the screen right now. You can see him. His paw's right behind Dom there. Let's go, Dave. Welcome to the stream. Glad, I mean, if there is, you know, like a situation where, like, I think that there's something, I'm sorry, guys. I will be helping your division rivals as you know, viewers of the stream, of course, if the occasion comes up. But we will be focused on the TM perspective, of course. So, that was exciting, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. I think, yeah, you just want to like consider bagging a little bit earlier there. It's no guarantee that you get it, but it seemed like there weren't a lot of like actual rolls. You guys just opted to, kind of go for the potential 6v6 in a sense, right? All right.
As far as the rest of the war is concerned, I'm pretty sure there might have been one or two races from here on out that was a greater differential than 10. So
Yeah.
it was pretty close back and forth.
Yeah, I like to say, if a lot of times, like people, I'm gonna make a video about this actually within this week, so you all stay tuned and sub on YouTube. Shameless advertising, but a lot of 66 game is about kind of playing a style that's going to prevent big races from happening. So really, the races that kind of decide wars are the ones like the last one in a sense. You can play that safer style in a sense, prevent it really comes back to how the shock's gonna be used and how like prepared people are to combat it, I guess. But yeah, I think it is pretty common for a lot of wars to have very small race totals, and that just gives such a massive advantage to the people that can win on these trick races like TM. Like that we're talking about who's getting hit and all of that. Red and fourth. Yep. That was good from Schism, especially to avoid that red also. Since there was one and fourth. So this looks like a one-on-one up front. Oh, that's tough. Make sure you're mentioning immediately that you got hit out. Just so Schism is, more alert. This happens sometimes. I'll just say that. At this point, I think, kind of considering stopping for shock. It's a thought. Maybe you're able to pull something else. It looks like they're spotting you right now to see if you actually have something. Good call. I was thinking that. I'd be just starring by now just in case. I don't think they had anything, but... Alright. So from the individual's perspective, I think obviously we know that the race unfolded for Triv middle lap 2. I don't think we have to watch it again because sometimes it can be painful, right? Just see so many things go wrong in a 5 to 10 second window right there. I think the thing that I would point out is maybe actually considering more patience on lap 1 with like the shroom and all that. I don't think this would be like a game-changing idea per se. But for instance, I think when you want, this is just a general rule. I think in general, I said general a lot, but I think you want to make sure that every item use is for a direct purpose, right? Maybe the purpose was to get closer to the pack right here. But in a sense,
yeah, I spent to get the draft.
Yeah, so that is a valid reason to consider doing it right there. I think for me, I would have considered the patience because I don't want to be near this green right now. Obviously, you can still get backed if you are close to it, and you did get an item right there, so that was good also. But I would consider just I guess giving a little bit more space to begin with, just because, it can be harder to, get boxes and all of that. If you are, kind of in a compact area and you want to make sure that you're getting boxes in 6v6. So I don't know what happened with Schism here, but I'm guessing it was probably just like after you got hit out, surrounded by a lot of NFO. Couldn't Hal up here. I wonder if that's Polly. Old player from Spain. I think they came back, so it's kind of interesting. Sorry, I said we wouldn't watch this again, just for your sanity. Hey, I like to see the sportsmanship in the chat also, so that's cool. You can go on to race 3. Yeah, I think that's just an instance of, not pulling a lot of items there. Not getting up super early. Schism seemed to be the exception. Oh my god, that scared me. Ryans, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, dude. We're just VOD reviewing today. If you want to help out in chat, make suggestions, feel free to do so. Sure, there can be a lot of potential input. I like the patience on the red right there. That could definitely have been... That definitely could have ended in a lag out, but it looked like it didn't. And it was definitely not safe to immediately throw it. I don't hate that attempt, actually. One thing I think I would have considered, actually... This is like a spacing thing right here. I think you might have had a window here, but... And you know what we talked about the last time is, you know, just finding the hits in, you know, tight windows, right? Those are sometimes what separates, you know, the mid-level from the top level, is just being able to get those hits and flip the advantage really quickly. I think right here, you got to go for it right here. Obviously, the red's scary, but you have a boomerang that should be coming back, right? The second you get this close, like, there's just going to be, like, no world where you can, like, really accurately hit them, so the red's going to be coming for Bean. And even if Bean's able to, you know, get rid of it, you know, there may have been something to hit a Dashy with here also. So I don't know. Seems like there's some lag there. Chibi, I'm sorry, I don't play Fortnite. Every time I boot it up, it's as a meme. God, they were taking shots there, even if it didn't hit. I'd be, yeah, the windows close really fast, as you can see, also. I think right here is the correct decision, even if it didn't hit. Right. You're gonna be thinking about... I'd be thinking about getting rid of the banana already, to be honest, but you never know if there's, like, a red behind you. Looks like you got it there. The worry right there is, like, you're gonna hit Cap'n, so... I think that throwaway is fine, also. Your opportunities with some of these hits, though, like, they are gone in a flash. I think that red throw is fine. Yeah. It's fine. I think that's a good drop, actually. Did they horn you, like, really just as you shroomed? Because if so, that was just immaculate time. Yeah, that's immaculate timing. Maybe a little bit lucky, but, you know, you take that if you're NFO. I would have considered stopping there to get 2 items, but this may have been fine also, because I don't think you were in shock range. Yeah, this is... I'm starting to notice a very common theme right now, is that these packs are very compact on lap 3 compared to, I think, most of the wars I watch HG play. There's a lot of this is gonna be just decided on, you know, what's happening here. Looks like the 10 coins almost netted you a spot on Dave there. Okay. I don't know. There's not like a whole lot to say right here. It's just like a very different style than I'm used to seeing, really. It feels like both teams are like very content to just believe that they can win the battle up front without, you know, shock at all right now. And hey, I mean, if both want to, you know, do it, then why not? But what you're gonna expect in a lot of these races are just very hectic endings, right? A lot of items being thrown. Everybody somehow has shrooms here, outside that banana throw. I don't know if I agree with this right here, just because the potential for, like, you know, more shrooms at the double could have been appealing, and you went kind of wide at the end also. It wasn't the worst idea, I think, but I think I wouldn't have gone for it. I don't know if it actually would have, or maybe you did actually get a spot at the end. I'm not paying attention. Oh, no, I don't think you did. Okay. Spike, how are we doing? Just looking at VODs and all that. So yeah, not the best GP1 I can see so far. I don't know if you have any comments. You can obviously interrupt whenever you guys want. But, I think it's probably a good thing that, you know, this ended up still being close right now, because it looks like this could get out of hand early on if you didn't stay resolved, I guess. I think right here, if I'm you, Triv, I would be less focused on racing line, but like considering taking that third box right there. Obviously, you're not going to, you know, be like it gets you, it takes you further away from first, but I don't see like a window right here where you're going to be in first in the next 5 seconds without something wild happening. But you never know, maybe you go a little bit wider for that box and you pull like a mushroom and then you take the cut up there and suddenly you're kind of in the front. You're just going to deal with bumps for a little bit this way, I think. Okay, maybe it works out. I'm fourth still. I don't know who's first, but like for me, a lot of times, like what I'll do is like this the second you kind of angle yourself this way, you're like you can't really actually get that wide. I mean, you should consider like, you know, having the option, right? But like at this point, like even if you hold all the way left out here, I don't think you're going to be able to get to it. But I mean, if you're down to just, you know, drive and like hope that you become, you know, I guess in a sense a body right here that can, you know, take a hit for bean or something, like that can still be valuable on itself. Unless it ends up, you know, just being unfortunate situation like that, I guess. So from what I know about the war so far, is like after this happens, I I'm probably gonna be focused on like already setting up the bag already, right? Getting the coins there is fun. Like they're in 12th right now. I don't think there's got to be like a trust in the teammates, I think, to you know, win up front here. You're in like one of the less good situations. I'd be slowing down to like try to get the coins in this section, right? I'd maybe even consider stopping at the last set. I guess I don't know. Without an item, I think maybe I go for like one of the single boxes, and then maybe you get like a chainable item like star and triple mushrooms, and you can roll for 3. If you were actually wanting to get for shock, maybe you wait a few seconds for first to kind of get close to the finish line. But again, really you just want to sometimes give yourself like the opportunity to be lucky, but you're not going to get the opportunity if you don't give yourself it, I guess. So you're not guaranteed to get anything, of course, but it's just like you want to make sure that you're giving yourself every possible chance to, you know, pull a good item or something like that. Now it seems like a lot of your teammates did end up getting hit out also, so it's not really on you as much anymore, but having like the more coins would probably be very helpful right now. Well, okay, missed timing right there. Happens sometimes also. I don't know if they're top 3. Cap'n having that ghost is huge, actually. I don't know if like you guys are gonna like have shock or something, but that's like a waiting first place if you guys were to have pulled it. That blue gave me anxiety. That was, that's something that not a lot of people are gonna point out, by the way. But I really like this. A lot of people freeze up like when they're in a pack of like their teammates and stuff, where, you know, you can't throw it forward, but you can't throw it back. And to look back right here and like to see that there is a window where you can actually discard it, I think is actually really good and something that a lot of players, you know, don't do. They just become sitting ducks. Like you realize that you had a window right there. You know, that can be game changing. I think planting a little bit sooner, maybe you end up hitting one of them, but I don't think it would have cost anything. Alright, so that was pretty good salvage at the end, actually. I don't know who got the hit out there. Maybe that was helpful. But here's like one comment I have, I guess. And again, it always comes back to the shock and, like, you know, your formations and how you're playing each race and all the wars and all of that. right? That seemed like it was difficult, right? You guys won that race, but it looked like there was a tangible threat that they got like top 2 or top 3 at a certain point. Ends up that you get some hits out and it turns into a winning race. That's good. You want that. But through the first GP, so far, I've felt that you guys are giving yourself only one way to win, right? And if NFO is doing a good job locking it down up front, then that's just how it's going to end, right? The appeal to bagging, I guess I'll give a little bit of like a spoiler right here. A lot of people see it as like a strategy that you choose to do, but it's like kind of like the yang to like running's yin, but I don't think that's accurate. I think that it's more of something that's reactionary if you can't front run, but you have to be willing to do both when the opportunities arise. And right now, it seems that NFO has been kind of winning up front a little bit more. They're at least getting the first places and all that kind of stuff so far. So, if they're doing that, it puts pressure on you guys to respond. And if you guys are, just going to continuously just try to muscle up and display some of their top spots, sometimes it'll work on NBC, but, they may be vulnerable to, a lightning bolt on some of these tracks. And I don't think you guys have rolled to get it many times up to this point. You had like 1 or 2 on TM. I'm not entirely certain how frequent it actually has been, though. And sometimes you won't get it, right? But it's like, you can still make these comebacks later if you start on lap 1, right?
Yeah, I don't think this war had many shocks at all
Yeah.
from either side.
And sometimes that happens, right? It's like a matchup thing where like both teams are like, both teams believe that they're going to be the ones that win up front, and that's cool, right? But I guess it can be opponent based sometimes, but I think a lot of times it is worth an evaluation. It's like, should we be giving ourselves more chances to pull it? One common thing I've been noticing is that you've been missing some chains on doubles. So maybe it's something to also consider. Or not really consider, because it's not like a choice to make, but just like, good decision. That was a great decision. Good job. Going on the right side. That was really good improv. Just on the spot. Because I think you wanted to go on the left side. That's kind of a blessing, considering they're behind you. I also... Hold on. Do they have them still? Oh, I guess they're gone. Okay.
I think that was one of us that had triple greens.
Okay. So you guys both got rid of them. Yeah. Alright. Interesting split path. Yeah, it happens. Is that 2 through 4? Maybe? Kind of looked like it. Oh, no. Okay, it was optical illusion. I'm silly. I think this, again, is just like another example of like how fast the windows close, because I will never, get... I will never be upset over aggression and stuff like that. Again, this is just like an example of, like, Beans, like, alright, I'm going to get an MT and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes, the swerviness will close windows in a sense also, but I can't really like say that Bean was like in the wrong for it, because it's hard to be like, oh, Triv could have maybe gotten that flower right there, and it's hard to like say that in like 2 seconds, right? Good that you're looking back also on the line, see if you could get that one guy in 5th. Didn't, but gotta respect the effort right there. So yeah, it makes sense that it would be us. Right. Triple greens. Don't want to hit. I didn't realize. I'm glad that you didn't go for the MT. This is something that a lot of players don't, this is like kind of a veteran move in wars and all that kind of stuff. A lot of players who just start, like, they'll learn like a strat like the glider mini turbo, and it's like, oh, well, I just have to do this now. It's like, no, you don't always have to do this, right? It's just, recognition that certain things are more important. We're not going to give ourselves the chance to TK here to get rid of this, roll new items. That's a good decision. Interested to see how the comeback happens. Hopefully it's not Waluigi pinball. I need to spread more pinball propaganda. So, rooting for you all in this one. So you're going to have to watch out for the pinball here, obviously. This looks a little bit too tight. You're not going to get by it. Yeah. So this is just like a track dependent kind of thing. So this is actually a good start because you got those draft. I don't know what we call them, fumes maybe. You got them so quickly, right? I think on this you gotta be holding wider though and try to go around. The second you hit the wall, you kind of lose like a lot of the good that you get. I also don't know what you guys normally do, but SMT to MT is usually better than MT there. So here's the thing. I knew you were going to hit the pinball here, just based on the alignment. You're going to want to actually be more to the, like, you aren't beating it, like, on the first wave, because it's really hard to beat it anyway. Like, you can get a pretty solid start in first place in this track, and you're still not going to beat it. It has to be pretty much perfect. So this is like the next adaptation for pinball, is understanding how to navigate this pinball in lap 1. And I think the track, low-key, almost isn't picked anymore, because everybody just sucks at doing that. Like, really badly, to be honest. So, here's what I think. I think you're going way too tight here. Because the tighter you go here, the wider you're going to go out here. And if the pinball's right there, you're going to have to start braking, and then it's going to be annoying and rolling in the path. I think you're going to actually want to be more to the left right here, so you can tighten up on this turn right here. See, you're tight now, but you're kind of headed back toward the pinball, right? You're gonna be wanting to, already be facing to or cutting it out right here. I'm not sure if you'd be able to get it, but at this point, it's like there's no chance. There's no chance. You just have to brake the second you committed to this drift right here. Maybe you can get the red out in time, but obviously there are bigger things on your mind as this behemoth is about to just wreck Waluigi, and yeah. Now, luckily at this point, it looks like you may have a hit on Boshi, but no, yeah, with bean spacing, gotta back it right there. This is tough. Didn't have a gigantic window. You may have had it right there, but wasn't quick enough on the trigger. Backing it's correct, but obviously, box gets stolen also. You want to make sure that you have these. At this point, I think I would have stopped. 0 coins right now, right? Missed the box. At this point, I'm just stopping right here. I'm just waiting for the coins to respawn. I think you gotta think of the long game here, right? Instead of getting like 1 coin, you could like just wait, get 5. It's always here's the thing. It's like a lot of times you don't think about bagging and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, oh well, I'm not that far back yet. But it's like, well, a good allocation of time would just wait. Get those 5 coins, and you'll be further back temporarily, but maybe you actually pull the shock, and then you also have more coins, and you're more ready to catch up and all that, and now you have an item that controls the room. It's something to think about right here, because this isn't really the ideal situation right here at all. That was good to get 3 right here. I have also considered going just on the right side, to be honest. For those that have never done that in their lives yet, there's 5 coins waiting for you. If you just, I don't know if you guys see my mouse, if you just go right at the end and go, kind of out of bounds where the pinball can't go. Can you guys see my mouse? I don't know. Maybe?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, if you just got...
I can see it.
You don't see it? Alright. On the right...
Yeah.
Okay, on the right side, there's 5 coins back there. That's always worth considering too. Getting 3 there is still pretty good, though. It looks like you guys need shock already. And the best way, to pull that is if you're already going for it, right? So we have Trev right here, Beans right here, Captain's right there, and now we see Dom right here. That's 4/6 of the lineup, all concentrated in the bottom 5 or so, I would say, right? So at this point, you're thinking about the shock, and they're top 2, as we know now. So NFO's done their job right now. At this point, if you're NFO, your sole responsibility is just to have a few racers like ready to, have stars for the glider on lap 3, just in case you guys pull it. Now, what would have been panicking, right, is like maybe, this is about 30 seconds to the race. If you look at the mini map right here, Triv's not in range right now. This is just probably going to be, triple shroom star or 4 shrooms or something, as we know. So, again, if we go back here, though, it's like, what if, Triv, miss the box right here. Maybe even go back and just, like, roll another item. Get the 5 coins right here. Maybe you get triple shroom star, you use your shrooms. Maybe there's a situation where you're further back, right here, like 2 seconds slower, maybe 3, and you have a star in hand and 5 coins, and you take the star, and you run up to the set, and you stop in this set. And then maybe you get triple shrooms, and then you back up and use the triple shrooms into a double, and then you still have a decent amount of coins. You're probably in shock range already. Maybe you get that roll, and if you get that roll, suddenly NFO has a major problem on their hands. But right now, we're in a situation, right, where, they have frontal presence, and I'm not sure when you guys are going to have a chance to even go for it, right? That's something to consider right there. What's up, Flurry? Good to see you. 5, 6, 7, 8 is very not good also in this situation, right? It means that NFO. I don't want to say this, of course. Like I'm just saying this as like an objective truth, not as like a shot or anything. But up to this point in this race, you guys are getting like circles ran around you in terms of like formations and all that kind of stuff. And the reason for this right now is like NFO has the top 4 spots, right? That's what you want on a runner like Pinball at this point. They've already gotten past the point where, like, the pinballs can hit you and all that kind of stuff on lap 1. So, like, they're not going to run into it on lap 1 or anything. They've got the setup right now. They've got the guy in 4th who's going to get annoying items and probably back you guys. And on top of it, they have 2 people in the bottom 4, so you don't even have triple odds. They have just as much of a chance of pulling shock as you guys right now. So what they're doing is they're essentially in a situation where if there's no shock, they can maybe get like a plus 20 race or something, or even more if the guys in the back catch up. And if you guys are the ones that pull it, they're still going to have people back there that may either A, pull one of their own and just use it and spam it, which would, go back to the situation where they're looking for like a plus 20 again. Or maybe even they pull, stars or bullet bills and, they have a backup plan if you guys are able to shock them in the glider. So at this point, it's like, this is scary because you guys are down 40 points at this point, and they are in position to deliver what would feel like an early knockout punch, I think. So, the good news is that we know this war ended up being a lot closer. I don't know if you guys end up winning this race or making a good comeback, or maybe this race ends up in a wash and you guys play a spectacular second half that just came up short. If it is the situation where you guys did have the really good second half and came up just short, this race, you could maybe even look back at, though, as like what if this race changed and flipped kind of race? Because then you might be looking at a win or something like that. Cap'n having a star in 6 is amazing right here. I'd be holding on to this for dear life, right? Dashy got hit out, that's going to help. Bill in 6th. Alright. Everything has gotten better in the last 5 seconds, and that may have just been because this Bill in 6th was insane and Captain has a star now. Now it's like, okay, if you all pull something, you guys just win. But, looks like both of you went into your dodges early. Again, the triple green back, like I talked about, the guys in the top 4, that's the advantage sometimes. They just get to take free shots sometimes. There's like nothing that you can do sometimes on that. Got him over glider, nice. I guess Dashy got hit out. It's good that you guys were able to get 2 of them out right now. But again, like I was mentioning, it's like, it feels like you guys are taking the hard approach. Sometimes you can win the easy way, right? Now, this is winnable now, but it didn't necessarily look like that initially. Oh, is that going to hit? Oh, Dave. You got owned, Dave. Wait, are we top 3 now? Did you guys have 1, 5, 6, 7, 8 this whole time? Did you? Please tell me. You guys did,
I
didn't
don't
you?
know. I don't know.
You guys did. Schism, why are you being so quiet here? I'm talking about. I'm talking like they had top 4 this whole time. Good rear view. Good. Explain yourself. Explain yourself, Schism. I know I did say a lot of words. I'm sorry. Very unfortunate. All right. Well, that changes a lot, actually. I think that means that they had triple odds, actually, which is also scary, though. I would still say I still would echo the same sentiment that 5 through 8 is very dangerous to hold on to. Okay. It seems they just didn't pull it this time, right? You guys.
I think I was just being quiet and just focusing on just holding the position.
Yeah, especially since they had 3 people behind you, presumably. That's understandable. I think the worry here, the worry in hindsight, if I had to go back now, Triv is so happy to get into the top 3. It's very funny. It's like, oh my god, we're top 3! Hooray! I didn't think it was going to happen. Okay. So, anyways. This is kind of dangerous right here because, again, the fact that you guys had to use your dodges kind of threw a wrench in the plan right here. Because if your guys' dodges end before the cannon, I guess, yeah, Cap'n had another star, which is good. Cap'n having the extra star right there is huge because now it's just like locking down their ability to target shock you guys if they had it. With that being said, they had a pretty high chance of pulling it right there. But it seemed that it was a risk that did not come back to bite you guys this time. Alright. I said a lot about Waluigi Pinball there. Oh my god, that was so jank. That was a good start from Dave right there. There may have been something that could have prevented... Yeah, Dave did his job right there. Okay.
Yeah, I got read it out right away.
Yeah. So, this is the part where I advertise the just like TT practice right here. Not because this is like something that you need to necessarily brush up on for the sake of TikTok clock, but because this is a spot that I would be like desperately practicing soft drifting on. Because I think you can get that SMT right there. And if you can get that SMT, maybe Dave doesn't get by you. But I'm not sure. That's something that you can look into on your own time if you're like wanting to improve your game and all that kind of stuff. Because, this is tough on Wiggler too. A lot of times I do a counter hop at the beginning, try to get the SMT right here. At this point, I think I would even consider going on the left side just because it's going to be pretty compact right here also. Schism's obviously got to go middle, but never know. I think if you're really fast and go on the left side, you can actually get Schism a second place box in some situations, but don't quote me on that. But I don't know. If you can get them a second place box, and it's like, oh, well, now we're trailing instead of getting a coin. Potentially. Alright, early top 2. Where are we going to go? Yeah. Happens sometimes, yep. This is weird. Because, like, that feels laggy, right? You don't actually believe that you're going to get that double. This is really tough right here, but in situations like this, there's so much thought about, like, hey, what can I do to, like, get a double right here? I can't fault you for going for the single stuff right there, but... And it may have not mattered, because they just pulled a horn on top of you anyway. The good news for you guys is that, hey, if they had if you guys pull a blue, that's one less horn that you have to worry about also. So don't take it too hard, right? Alright, triple odds right now, but I don't think anybody's in range. Are we spying now? Is that the thought?
Think so?
Because it looked like you slowed down a decent amount there. And there's the. Remember, we were talking about super horn being out of the front, so maybe in a sense, a little karma back, right? Every decision has a cost. Yeah, I think going that wise, like, okay, I'm checking up on them. So here's the thing with them in top 2. Glad you're going for the coins right there. You can go for another one if you go up here. It's not too slow. Oh, but there's one on the ground right there. So, okay, sure. Good to take the 2 right there. Another. I think I'm slowing down right here. Especially since he... Wait, did you have a star in hand already? No, I don't know why I was thinking that. I probably would have stopped at the first set here. Oh, you pull a star first set. Okay. This is a tough one, but, for the people that like, getting your boosted pulls, you can actually get this box without jumping off. And you can get a boosted pull on the first one instead of just chaining only. So if you're in a situation where it's like, we want shock, that's you can still do it that way here. In first place, I mean, they had top 2, right? So I would have considered that for sure. Just going for it. Again, they seem to be positioned pretty well. Just like, got 2 people in shock range. Still people up front, but we'll see. Gotta get that double right there, of course. You know that, though. That's tough place to roll. Oh, they have to hold blue though, so this is gonna be like a free last for Boshi. It looks like. Just getting the 8. Just getting the 8. I think with the 8, it's just like at this point, it's like you're near enough the finish line that like I'd just be like, the advantage here is that this is a pocket 8, right? They may have not starred yet. If you just match this all back, you never know if you get it, if you get the hit, right? I don't think that they could have passed you there, but hard to say. Maybe they could have. Okay. My common thought so far is that there's... I think missed item boxes are becoming like a thing to consider here, right? There's been a decent amount. You want to like, maybe you like want to make it like a point of emphasis, like in your practice this week. Just be like, can I always get these boxes and stuff? Because like right here. Oh, actually no, you did get the double right there. Where's the other one? I mean, you got a tough one right here. I think it's the end of lap 2 actually. Right. Well, yeah, like situations like this, like you're in range right now. Pretty sure. I think you are because I think this is laggy. Maybe it wouldn't have given it to you because of the lag at the end of the track, but I don't know. I think you're in range here though, so it's like you never know. It's like you may actually pull lightning if you get that double. So, and I think in this situation in particular, like I understand like the congested ones where like earlier in the race when I think on lap 1. You were in top 3. That was a really tough one to get. But you want to make sure, like, even over speed, especially in the back, you want to focus more on getting the doubles right there than you do even taking good lines per se. If you have to choose one, you should be choosing the double. I think sorry.
That was a result of the star, honestly.
Yeah, I get it. One thing I try to do sometimes is like, sometimes you have these items, so you're like going pretty fast, right? I'll try to kind of slow down or like just take very vanilla lines before that just to ensure that I get it. But that can be tough also. Well, not tough, but like it'll be like a weird situation sometimes that prevents it. You were so preemptive on Boshi right there. Like that was like this is how I know you can get these doubles, Triv. This is how I know right here. Because, like, look at this. You're like, oh, rival team leader holding blue shell. How unfortunate for him. I'm going to throw this red. I'm going to anticipate. This is anticipation right here. Like, this guy is still in a star. And it's like, still in the star. Literally, like, I don't even know. I don't even know if I can find a frame where, like, I don't know if I can find a frame where Boshi is not in a star and you have the red in hand. This is how I know you have the reaction time, right? Look at this. You're like, gotta get Boshi right here. Look, that was instantaneous. The anticipation. That's how I know that you have the ability to hit these doubles and all this kind of stuff, right? Sometimes it is just the star speed, of course, right? It can mess with you, right? But, in certain situations, right? That kind of anticipation will do wonders in spots like this right here. But you just gotta, sometimes you gotta trust yourself. Sometimes you miss the doubles as a result, though. It's like, I think you tried to pull left at the last second. Just wasn't quick enough, right? Obviously, you can't.
So that one, yeah. I expected them to go for doubles.
Yeah.
Don't know if they actually got it. But
yeah.
I'd rather have something than nothing.
Yeah, and you're right here. It's bad advice to just say, oh yeah, just get the double here, because, like, that's not what's really going through your mind at that point in time, right? But just in general, I think boxes have been one of the bigger issues so far. Namely, in terms of, like, knowing, like, opportunities to stop and go for shocks and stuff like that also. Because, sometimes, like, you want to give... I'm going to keep repeating this. You want to give yourself an opportunity to be bullshit, right? Sometimes, I feel like TM, so far, this match has had no bullshit factor. And I guess you can say that as, like, it's a very honest team. We aren't shock reliant, right? But it's like, that's kind of the game, right? You want to give yourself opportunities to pull the bomb in first. You want to be able to pull the super horn in first. But if you're passive in some situations, right, you aren't unlucky. You're just not giving yourself the opportunity to get lucky sometimes. There is a distinction there at times. All in all, there's still, I think there's still, like, a lot of, like, good things that's happening every race. I think the strength so far I've noticed is finding ways to improvise in a way that doesn't get yourself killed or, like, teammates killed at times. Because like that Neo Bowser City back, that was, like, kind of you're surrounded by teammates and you still got yourself the double by getting rid of your red. Stuff like that, or, like, going, like, on the fly, going on the right side of Hyrule when the guy was just, like, just throwing a flower at you, etc. Stuff like that has been the best stuff so far today, I think. Alright, bit of a deficit, still feels winnable. Yeah, this red's kind of a problem right now. Is there anything that Dom could have done about that? Or, like, anything that could have been communicated? I don't know. Okay, good call. Yeah. I think that's good to, like, try to, like, do, like, weird lines in general. I think using the second shroom right there may have been kind of a misplay, though. So obviously you, like, want to reaccelerate and stuff, but it's like the second you use the second one, it's like when you get hit again, less of a buffer to recover. Yeah, this is a we need to bag situation 100%. It looks like that may be happening in 12 right now. Like I said on the last race, actually, where you can, like, kind of get that you can kind of stop in that set, right? Even though it's, like, at like a height, you can actually, also stop at the first set on Sunshine. You're just gonna be, like, hovering over the first jump and all of that. I think you getting 4 shrooms right here. Okay, that was good. I think you getting 4 shrooms right here is kind of an indication that maybe you could be a little bit more space from first. Another distinction right here is that first place is about to go off like a cannon, so, like, waiting just, like, an extra second may have actually put you, like, much further back relative to where you actually were. Alright. That was good to go from 2 to 7 coins right there also. Almost got that one right there. Alright. So, calling that we have shock and that it's in hand and that they know very quickly. That's good stuff. That's concise information. That's useful. At this point, if you're Triv, you're trying to get a star, you probably get it here. This works. Uh-oh. That's kind of scary. Did anybody else dodge here? We'll see. Indiv shocks can be okay sometimes, but... Yeah, that MT was never going to happen right there. Wait, am I'm confusing. I'm getting confused right now. I need to listen carefully. So you... Oh, okay. So it's like as you dodged.
Yeah, he mentioned he had it like the very last second after we used it.
Yeah, that was so fortunate. Oh no. That actually looked sufficiently spaced, to be honest. I think this was probably a bit of a missed opportunity. But I don't know for certain because like the reasoning was sound in my opinion. It's like, alright, we have another shock right now. Right. The question is just like, are we able to actually catch up in time? And if you wait for the second one also, there's the possibility that you target shock yourself on the first one as well.
Yeah, I can't remember if I called it, but I feel like I might have said we needed time to catch up and needed to call it soon on this one, the second one.
Yeah, I did hear that.
But like, it would have been good. I mean, obviously it's good to get him over glider, like when you can, just to make it more effective.
Yeah.
There's only so much room we have to catch up, and people are a little spread out.
The other thing about the second one also is I believe that it takes you back, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a more deadly target shock also. I'm right on that, right? If you get TS right here, you go backward, I think.
I think so, yeah.
That's the other thing to consider right there, I think. I thought this red had enough space, to be honest. Like right here. Obviously, you can go a little bit further to the left just to be safe, but I can't really blame this.
The fact it took a hard right.
Yeah. I think at this point... Yeah. But yeah, they were sad. I would have launched on that horn immediately. I don't know if a teammate was nearby. Maybe Cap'n. I mean, Boshi and Dashi passed you, right? I don't know if there's an opportunity to hit them. Yeah, I don't know. Like the second your teammates pass you here, I think I use the horn also, just as like even if you end up hitting one of your teammates, it's like you're protecting yourself, and it looked like I saw NFO behind you. I don't know for certain. Sorry, I haven't been as decisive on this one as the last review, I think, but I hope it's helpful so far. There's less glaring things to fix this time, I think. Brad, are you talking about like the people in like the VOD or like Triv and Schism right now? Because like that, I don't know for sure. I'll turn up my desktop audio maybe.
Yeah, I don't hear any audio from the war. I don't know if you have it set up
Yeah,
that
I
way.
do. I think it's because the stream is hearing it, but not you. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think I can turn it on, but I'm not exactly certain how.
No, it's okay.
Okay. It is easier this way, yeah. So they're bombing 6 right now. This is probably a throw forward kind of situation since you guys are kind of behind. There it is. Yeah, this still is in range right here. At this point, it looks like NFO's got like a more sufficient opportunity to pull it. Looks like they pulled blue though. At this point, I think you should be more coins right now. It's good to get the 3 right there, of course. Are you chaining? Yes, okay. So I think right there you should have stopped, to be honest. Just for the boosted roll. I'm not sure how much conviction I have on this. But I think I probably would have. That was good to immediately start goldening because you're recognizing that it's not super useful. Just to clear up for the chain right here. Alright, nice. You just get it anyway. Sure. That works. Okay. Again, even if you didn't stop or anything, a lot of this actually did end up... Because, like, look, this was voluntary, right? We were talking about, you know, giving yourself opportunities. Right here. There's 0 opportunity right here, if you look at the mini-map. There's just 0 opportunity, no other way to put it. Especially right here, this is an 8th place box. This isn't happening right here. This being an 8th place box is actually what screwed you over at this set, because now you just have a full fire flower. And I don't think you were anticipating getting a fire flower, and then you get redded also. At that point, you can't even, like, spam the entire fire flower through the set because you have a shroom before it, too. So this sucks right here, right? But the other effect that has happened here is that you're now actually in shock range for the next set. That's blue, right? I don't think you mentioned that they were holding blue. That's worth noting. Maybe you said it there. Let's listen. Yep, okay, you did say it. That's it. That's very useful information, especially since you do end up pulling it. Look, you are in range now. So this is like, again, in a sense, if you didn't stop at the first set, very possible you guys don't pull this one to begin with also. The good news also here that should be remembered is that they are holding blue in 12th right now, and the shock is hidden. So you guys have likely all day for this one. All day. I am worried about how many people are back. Oh, did it prevent, like, the dodge? Okay, the blue's still gonna hit them, so that's good. If you knew the triple shroom glider, that'd be useful for sure right there also. Alright. Rip Captain, I think. Had a pretty decent shot at top 3. Damn. Let's see what happened. Got the double. That checks out. I don't know what happened. Boomerang, maybe? Lag trail. Maybe. I don't know what happened for... Oh, it was the back. Wasn't it? Alright. Let's hear what's being said. I got blued. They're getting blued. So I don't think it was really mentioned to Bean that you guys were actually like about to take over top 3. That's something that's critical right here. Now, Triv, at this point, I know you guys are having fun, right? You guys vibe. I get it. I get it. Don't worry. But I think there are better uses of call space at this point in time. In this point in time, there's like a little bit of panic. You're kind of like, oh, I don't want to hit anybody. I mean, that's probably a thought that you just gotta hold like 10 more seconds and stuff right now. At this point, I think Captain should be talking about like potentially overtaking second after the dodge. I think Triv should be like, I'm streaming into third or fourth, right? Or I'm streaming up top 2, top 2, top 3, top 3, top 3. And at that point, it may have been too late though, because like I think Bean didn't actually have the awareness right now that you guys were actually about to take over top 3, right? I don't know if did Captain get the boomerang. We'll see. Looks like, yeah, that was Captain's boomerang. It's like, I boomerang second. Streaming up, top 3. And then I think if you say that by now, like, in real time, like, I don't think the green comes back, right? Wait, hold on. Where did that... Was that bounced off the wall? I'm so confused right now. I mean, it's just all communicating, like, what's happening at the end. Actually, maybe that wasn't Bean. Sorry, I just assumed, like, at the arc that it would have had to have been. Who threw that green? That's crazy. Where is it?
I don't think it might have been a spirit bounce.
I don't think that was...
Yeah, it wasn't Bean. We can see it, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. It looks like it was going forward and bounced off the wall, and Captain just... That's so sad. That's just so...
I think that green up, and it hit him, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. That is kind of... Now, I will say that, like, that what I was saying in regards to, like, the comms right there, even if there wasn't, like, a back at the end, that still is pretty useful, I think, at the very end. Just, like, kind of talking about, like, what's happening and stuff. Just because, people will take their shots and stuff on the line based on, what, could potentially happen. So, alright. That's a start boost I think needs to be pulled, but trust me, I'm also on the always missing start boost army. Yeah, that was... I mean, I think that may have actually been, like, very instantaneous, like, NFO front win. It doesn't feel super impactful, right? It's like, okay, I didn't get the full start boost here. But Howl does, and Howl got past Triv very quickly right here. It's like, okay, pull the box, green shell, Triv's fighting for third, Beans first, boom, immediate. And that's all it takes sometimes, right? So now they've got in the front very quickly, right? Puts the pressure back on you guys. You guys have to make a play now, right? Good trail. Maybe over the glider too. That almost escaped, yeah. In that instance, Triv, not a lot that you can do. You just gotta hope that, the others, are up there, and that's not always gonna happen. That's just not how life works. But, again, mismatches. That was a pullable double, I think, right there. A little bit of B button, I think. You get that. Especially since you didn't trick there. I think if you break just a little bit right there, get that. It's kind of a funny red, to be honest. Again, this is the 0 coin situation again. Right. They have top spots. I'm thinking about stopping and bagging here. Slowing down. Potentially stopping in that set, trying to roll 2 or 3 items. Going left's a good decision. Alright, nice. Guys got the front again. Really good stuff to get up to 10 coins very quickly. I'd be using this already, I think. Well, you probably can't golden through right there, so this is fun. Dang, this is looking good. Top 4, okay. I don't know how the hell that happened. Seemed like they almost self-imploded. Sometimes you don't need to pull shock, right? But,
I think at this point, since we were down we only had a couple of races left. We're like, we have to go.
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of like a Hail Mary at this point.
yeah. I buy it. I think you guys have got like just got to pray that you're able to pull a dodge, right? Blue's coming, okay. I'd be looking to back as soon as possible. I don't know who's 7th right now. If it was, I would have been backing that fire before the glider started, even like if I didn't get like the UMT. I think you guys are just playing it safe. Oh my god. Nice. Good trade for Bean. Doesn't matter. Still got tops. Okay. You guys may be winning at this point, to be honest. Oh, I think this is where I came in the chat. It's like, oh, you guys gotta win now. Put the pressure on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this was a lead change.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with the decision to go for the big race right here. I'm just looking. Okay. Did you not pull a dodge here? That roll right there, it doesn't seem like much, but it's unlucky. It is unlucky. Wow. Yeah, them stopping right here actually was probably good for them, if anything, if they were to pull it, because now they have triple odds, right? Before that happened, 3 people back in bottom 4 as opposed to 1. It's like right now, it's like, if Triv gets this box in 9th, it's probably a star, to be honest. And then at that point, it's just like, they're screwed. But... Anyone in the back? No. Yeah, I think you guys are in 8th right there, so I think... Yeah. The 9th. Yeah, capping and being in 8th right here is like almost wishing for death in a sense. Because then it's not even a matter of the other team having triple odds for shock, but them having full odds for it. And you don't want to give a team full odds pretty much ever. With that being said, they still had a lot of work to do, right? I don't think they had. This is the other good thing about winning on lap 2, because like up to this point, you guys had 2 in the bottom 4 the whole time, so this is like a neutral formation in a sense. Really, the ideal situation is you want to be top 4, 2 in the bottom 4 at this point in the race, and you guys have that right here. At this point, it's like they're stopping, and it's like, oh crap, we got to go get the shock, but it's like they don't have it yet. So the amount of time that they have to pull it is lower. If you guys had, like, the 5 in the top 7 from lap 1, that would have been very scary, but that worked a little bit better. I just got to follow. 1 second. Gotta get the name. I'm sorry I wasn't looking. But yeah, I think good stuff on this one. Obviously, you would like Triv to have a dodge in this situation, just to, maybe cover the glider, like the last set or something like that. But, I mean, Triv may have been able to get something in 7th still, and just didn't roll it, so, hey. That's how it be sometimes. Go for the big race. Not an unreasonable idea. Definitely keep capping in the bottom 4 right there, though. I'm assuming this is Bean who followed. Bean Jame, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you, Bean. I'm assuming this is you and that you're not a psychopathic liar taking somebody's credit. I assume it is you. Alright. Okay. We saw the exciting conclusion here. Alright. I think I watched this one already, but I don't know for certain. Score's just not updated right now. Y'all are too excited. I think that's a start boost, yep. Alright. Alright. Yeah. I think this is preventable. At this point, it was weird because Schism was gaining a bit, but Triv kind of had the upper hand right here. I think at this point, Triv, at this point, the second I see the coin, I would just use this immediately, just to get that extra speed. Right, you're trying to hold on to first right now, remember. Obviously, this is a little bit awkward because I think you have more than Schism right now. Bump him wide a little. But it's like, I think if you guys just had a little bit of extra speed, this may have not happened. There's not a lot of reason to chain coins sometimes. Especially on lap 1, so like you might as well just get your speed boost already. I guess you don't want to pull another one, but at that point I think you had enough support. I think breaking before that first set also would have been good, right? Maybe not the most impactful thing because nobody's in range, but it's like, or at least going wider and stuff. But I think you committed. You never know what you're going to get, right? Gotta find if you can get something useful, even if it's not always going to happen. That was good. That was good right there. That was good. That was outstanding improv, actually. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't like shrimming in front of the boomerang. That was good, but I don't think you had to be in that situation. I guess there was another one. Yeah, I think in this situation you're like panicking in a sense, right? I don't think you had to use the second one because like it's gonna be annoying for them to hit you if you're like just right next to them. But like if you, the second you stream in front of them, it's like, and then use the second one. Also, it's like, oh well, now you have nothing to recover from if they hit you. I think it was mainly just a panic usage because you're like, oh my god, we gotta get to top spots real quick. That's tough. Almost got in front. Oh, that was brutal. Oh no, there's another red. Oh my god. Oh, okay, sure. It's all worth it. This was low-key a little bit of a bailout, I think, the shock, just if it got Schism into first. Again, we're talking again about just, it's funny, just like giving yourself chances and stuff, and in this, it's ironic here, because it feels like they chose to make you potentially roll a shockable pull, and then you just got it first slot. I guess Schism is just going to win anyway, but I think it at least got... I think it was Bean.
I think that call was to get him first. I think.
Yeah. Too little, too late, right?
I checked to see if we had dodges in the back before, because like we were on the last straight, like
yeah,
as it was called, but it definitely secured first for sure, just in case if any item shenanigans are gonna happen.
Yeah.
There was like 2 of them right next to me, but
I don't know what you go for in this situation, to be honest, Triv, because like I like the idea, like the idea of like passing Boshi and him taking the red is like enticing, but it's like I think it happened too late, I guess. So I just don't know if the window was there, if there actually was something you could have done. Sorry, I just don't have a ton on a lot of these races, I think. We'll save it for after the last race, I think. Yeah. I think this probably is better with better comms. I don't think anybody pointed out the red right there. And also just like I think you did mention taking cut and stuff. I don't know if like it was clear that it was schism until it was too late. Right. I think I would have considered shrooming to the right, just being like, this is me, this is me, this is me. Because, like, that's just an unfortunate lag trail. And unfortunately, like, Schism is kind of alone after that. So it's like, boom. They just took care of business, and I think a lot of it was at your own hands. Alright. Going for it early. I don't know if they're in range. Probably in range now, yeah. This is a panic situation. Yeah, there's the box again. That was a high pressure situation, I think. Right, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get fire flowered. Oh my god, I'm gonna get fire flowered if I slow down. But it's like you can literally see the item box. Have you guys ever seen this before? This doesn't even look real. It looks like a domino. Do you guys see this? This is crazy.
Looks like Minecraft.
Yeah. This is wild. It's like the essence of an item box. Sorry, I'm just like flabbergasted right now that I paused on this exact frame. I didn't think this was a thing. This is how close you were, though, I guess. Right behind. Alright. So we have triple odds right now. Good. Great slowdown, actually. Doesn't end up being super useful, but... No, I don't know if I agree with the call. Blue helps. But at that point, it seemed like they got pretty far ahead. Are you guys, like, worried about, like, them, being able to, you know, withstand it, I guess? Sorry, that was a weird question.
Like, no one was dodging at the time.
Yeah.
I think, and then to give us enough time, we had so many dodges, and we needed time to get back up lap 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of us got hit out afterwards.
Yeah. Now, a good way to prevent yourself from getting hit out afterwards. Why am I doing this? This is why, like, what you dodge with is important. Also, is like if you dodge up with a star and you have no pocket items, like it's okay, I guess. But you're not gonna like catch up to them that way. Also, this is, you know, again why chaining is so appealing a lot of the time. But I think you guys were also kind of starting to feel the pressure in a sense to actually get it out. Oh, this is like just a very strange place to use it. I feel like there's like so much like, did you guys have your dodges already? I have shock. I have dodge. I have 2 dodges. Can probably get one. Triv, if I'm you right now, I'm counting down the shock. Right now. That's my thought. You got an extra dodge by waiting, but it's like the thought process here is that it is now later in the race. 2, the people that had dodges are past the last set now and won't be able to chain for other items that are also really far in the back and good. And also, if you were to use the shock right here, you have now gotten top 4 entirely past the last set, and their next set's going to be a single box too. This is tough to really, you know, be like. This is really tough to just immediately, you know, it's like you are just learning that they have shocker right now, right? I think the second you have 2 dodges, right? Especially right there, it's like, oh, I just got hit out. Like, they're going to be top 4. It's like, oh, they're going to be top 4, and we have multiple dodges already, right? 3, 2, 1, activate. That's too late, actually. Don't listen to me there. Gotta do it with anticipation, of course. Alright, Dash is gonna take your item. I'm slowing down. I'd be like, get ready, activate shock. Like, by the time, like, Dashy's about to run into it. Then you can kind of slow down just into... They're not gonna react to you slowing down, like, at that point. It's like, you get the double. Probably some others get the double. Probably some dodge up. Because, like, you only need plus 10 right now, right? I don't think there was any worry that they had it right now. It didn't seem like anybody else is in dodges. This almost feels too easy, to be honest. Like, nobody... Like, none of them are in dodges, weirdly. I guess they went to a bill? I think if that guy dodged with the bill, it's not the end of the world, because they're just still in the back, right? Unless they had shock also, then in that case, like, it just sucks. But they didn't, because if they did, they probably would have used it already. I just don't think you guys got enough out of this, I guess. And maybe it was just because they had such a big top 3 lead already. That's possible, too. I mean, it wasn't bad, but again, it's like a no-die situation kind of thing, right? So I don't know. I think there's no guarantee you guys win if you do it the last set lap 2, but I think it would have given you a better chance of getting at least first and stuff. Want to look at it again? Because like, here's the other thing, Triv. If you call this right here, like, first place doesn't seem that out of reach to you. If you just, like, pull 4 shrooms right here, it feels like you dodge in that sense also, if you pull 4 shrooms right here. Or if you get...
Yeah, top 4.
It's like...
Top 4 would be without items for quite some time.
Like, what if Triv gets triple reds, like, after a shock right here, right? That's another thing to think about. Or maybe even just shrooms, like, you're catching up so much, so quickly. And of course, you wouldn't be the only one, right? So I don't know. I don't know if the chat has any thoughts or anything also. I think one dodge would have been fine. So many of them were in the top spots. I was thinking they would... After... Yeah. I think... Yeah. Probably last set lap 2. Like, here's the thing. At higher levels and stuff, like... Opponents are going to lock down that option every time, I feel like. At least the people who are there in the back. I think it was kind of a head-scratcher that NFO's people in bottom 2 weren't in dodges at that point. You know, on Dolphin Shoals, I talked about, you know, Boshi holding the blue and stuff. It's like, oh, that is like one of their potential, you know, comeback players. Like, people that could pull shock who just has to hold blue now. That's a situation where you would... That's a situation that's a massive advantage, especially in D1. Because, it means that the opponents can do very little about a shock. You'd have, like, one person who's able to pull it or, like, dodge, etc. And that's a big deal. But in this situation, it seemed like they weren't even ready to dodge at the last set, which is weird and almost feels too good to be true. But... sometimes maybe in the mid-level they will let you get away with it. I mean, you guys would have dodged the bill technically at the last set, right? I guess that was their counterplay. The other one didn't, but I don't know. If they had shock behind that bill, then tough luck, I guess. But it's like if they have shock behind that, if they had shock behind that bill anyway, it still would have been tough luck because they would have just used it when they were out of their bill. Because it's like, oh, we're top 4. Let's use shock and win the war now, right? So. Probably could have just gotten more out of it, I guess. But, again, I think this isn't entirely, like, blameworthy because I feel like you guys had like, reasons for the decision that you made, I think. And in real time, it's really difficult to, you know, always come up with, like, the optimal one, right? Because like maybe if you look into this too seriously, it's like maybe you're in a similar situation the next time, and you're like, oh, let's do the last set of lap 2, and then the other team just goes into 2 dodges, right? And maybe it's a completely different situation, right? So it's hard to say. But anyways, I think close war, hard fought. Obviously, these losses sting. I think the thing I would probably focus on the most is just like mentioned, it seemed like I think you guys did a good job of limiting NFO's big races. NBC comes to mind, of course, also. It seemed like they were, for the most part, winning up front more than you guys were, but you guys weren't letting them get massive races outside of like Twisted Mansion. So that always helps. But it seems like every time that you guys like did that, it was the hard way. It felt like very little. It felt like very little was there like actually situations where like you guys just intentionally got shock, right? Like it's funny in a sense that this is like one of the situations where you pull and stuff. It's like this was clearly unintentional. This is just like the game coming to you sometimes, right? I know there's another race where you guys pulled it, or where Triv pulled it also. I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't on pinball, I remember. I don't know. I also see how SA would maybe like change your decisions in a sense, right? For like the later one. It's just like, oh. Actually, maybe not. It seemed like you guys were more passive instead of risky here. But like, risky's not always good also. I think also risky is like probably a little bit better in the -10 situation than just like in the, oh, we could still win this normally. Of course, the end of this was just tragic also. Like that red connecting here, the banana, this could have been a lot better also. Yeah, so I think the thing really to discuss is just like, at least in scrims, getting used to like having somebody, give themselves like a roll for shock or something on lap 1. Because I feel like that didn't happen a lot. Feels like every time that you guys had shock, like it just happened to, like be a thing that happened later on in the race. And I think you can probably pull more. Races like TM come to mind. And, I mean, in a close war, right, it's like, what could one extra shock do for you, right? It could be everything, in a sense, right? Who knows?
I think we've kind of gone like back and forth on, and it depends on the track too,
Yeah.
but just initially identifying who's going to bag, because then essentially, like, let's say Schism said he's going to bag, then me and Bean get hit out, and then there's 3 of us in the back, and Schism's already in the back because he said he was going to bag. So, like, we're essentially taking all of us out of our top spots. Like, we don't have that strong of a front presence after lap 1.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
I have a good comment for this, actually.
Okay.
The way that you should be looking at bagging for the most part. So, like on RSL, would that ever be a situation? Would there be like a situation where that happens? That's a weird question, but I'm curious.
Yeah, if we would not, on RSL, we would not say that we would not initiate a bagger lap 1 unless they had early front presence, because we know that's one of our stronger tracks.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually, if we designate someone to bag on Sherbert, it's because we're top 4 and they're all struggling in the back, and we see that they're already going for shock.
Sure. Then
we're like, all right, we'll have someone hang back and babysit.
Yeah.
But
so on tracks like, Desert and Cheeseland, I think it's fine to designate baggers early. because, that's just how the
Yeah,
tracks
yeah.
play. But I would not do that on really any track that has running value. Maybe RMC, I guess. Technically, you can have people go back to bag and have, like, somebody run. But, like, tracks like this where, front presence is important, you don't want to predetermine who's going to be the bagger. You want that to come to you, right? Like, the game's going to decide for you in a sense. Because, if somebody is, like, already bagging, like, from, like, the beginning, it's like, they may have been the one that actually has the chance of, they may have been the one that had the chance, right, of actually getting into first. Thank you for the raid, Joe Ped, by the way. Appreciate it. We're almost done, though, but... Anyways, they could be the one that wins up front, but it just doesn't happen if they've already predetermined that they are going to bag. So the distinction that needs to be made is if you're like the one on the team that feels like you've had like the worst lap one, maybe you don't have any coins, and it would be good to get some uncontested ones in the back and slow down a little bit. I think pinball comes to mind with Triv right here, where it's like, it's like the beginning of this race just does not go very great, right? On 0 coins right now, in 12th right now, others around have items, and then like you miss the box, right? It's like this is a situation right here where I would be like, all right, I didn't choose that I was going to be the bagger. I didn't choose this. Matter of fact, a second ago, I was like one of the higher spots, right? I was trying to front run. But the game does not always play out that way, right? And after this hit happens, and everybody else passes you, and you're still on 0 and stuff, like, even just 5 seconds later, even 5 seconds later, it is now, like, you who is best fit to be the one that stops a little bit, right? And I would consider doing that, because I don't think that there's going to be an impact that you make on the top spots in the next 15 seconds or so. But it's so early in the race, it's like, if you stop right there, like, maybe you go for it the last set of lap 1, maybe you don't get it, right? But, like, if you're doing this correctly, you're going to have more coins, you'll have better items, and it's lap 1. You still have plenty of time to catch up, right? And then maybe you do end up making an impact in the front again. And somebody else will get hit out, and maybe they take your shift in a sense. But the recognition to be like, oh yeah, I could see, maybe I can pull it this set, because I'm not going to be that useful in the next 10 seconds up front anyway. Right? It's not because you don't have the ability to, you just don't have the resources currently to make that impact up front. But if you do pull shock, right, then you just make a massive impact all at once, technically, just because like the race changes entirely if it's in play. So
yeah,
that's the thing to really consider. It's like, bagging doesn't need to be like the end of your race. It can just be, something that you try for a second, right? Just to see, maybe I get it here. If I do, that's great. If I don't, I'm still going to catch up, because I'm going to, get back to 10 coins. I'm going to get, like a star and like a golden or something. I'll be back up. And then when I do get back up, I'll be ready to stay, because I'm going to have maybe a star to like blast through the other team if they have offensive items, or, I'm quick enough with the money that it will be okay. So, I mean, that's probably the thought process to have. And like, everybody should be thinking that. Like, I know, in a lot of sports, people play positions, right? You have your point guards, your quarterbacks, your forwards. Everybody has their own positions and all that kind of stuff, but I think at the highest level, MK is, in Wars, is like a positionless sport where everybody needs to be a Swiss Army knife, right? Everybody needs to be able to front run, and everybody needs to be able to bag, because... Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that in the background. But everybody needs to be able to do everything, because you don't always know what situation the game's going to throw at you. you may be the one, like, this is the thing. It's like, if you have like a significantly weaker player in the lineup, it's easy to think, oh yeah, you can just bag because you'll be in the back a lot, and maybe they do end up bagging more, but it's still better if, they just happen to get into first place if they're equipped to handle it. And that goes for the inverse as well. So just being able to, recognize when it's best to do what, I think is an important skill. And I think trying again to maximize your opportunities to one thing I will point out also is like it doesn't just stop with like pulling shock and like getting into range like on lap 1 and stuff. It's like sometimes you'll be like top 3 or something like that, or like maybe you'll be maybe a team will be like top 2 or something, and you're like 3, 4, 5, and then you red second out, and then there's just a bomb in your face, right? And the initial reaction is just, they're so lucky, dude. Of course this guy would have a bomb, right? Bombing first, the memes and all that kind of stuff. But what might not be said is that while his teammate was in second, instead of, holding a coin and a banana safely, maybe they threw the banana out of bounds and changed for a new item, and they got the bomb because, they were rolling for more opportunities to, pull something stupid. So when you guys hit out, the second place person, they already have the bomb because, maybe they simply rolled more times than first. And, shocks work that way too. I think that's why chaining items is pretty good in this game. Because, a lot of times you can control the items that you get in the pack a decent amount, but also just like the items that you can't get as much, well, you won't get them much at all if, you're playing passive and holding on to items like triple streams and stars that you can just ordinarily get pretty frequently anyway. So I think that's my spiel, I guess. Don't know if there's anything else, but if you guys want to ask stuff, I'll be around a few more minutes, but if not, I think we're probably done.
Yeah, I think a really good point, and even though it didn't work out to kind of follow the point you were making, the Dolphin Shoals ending about like the last 30 seconds of a race, really to comms to call out spots, and if you're streaming up and stuff. Yeah. That being really important.
Yeah, especially if like you're in like the war zone in a sense, right? If things are, if everything's fine and dandy and you're all just front running, then it's like, let people focus on their lines and stuff, and like maybe something important is found and you want to be able to listen to everybody. But, sometimes when everything's a mess, right, just having that clarity and knowing the importance and significance of the situation just to like point out, what this, updating the situation's usually pretty good, right? So, yeah, I'd agree with you on that. All right, who's next for week 4? Who are y'all playing tomorrow?
We're playing AGS tomorrow, and we are also playing Stella Nove,
which is basically just Parcero's team.
Okay, I think the site just died on me, so I can't confirm that. Guessing one of them is a rematch, so good luck in those.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow will probably be a big day for like determining like if the season will continue. So best of luck in those matches, of course. Of course, good luck to NFO and Dave if he's still around and watching as well. But a lot of this stuff I think maybe like off-season plans to just kind of getting in the habit of playing in a sense kind of positionless, where anybody can do everything. That should definitely be a focus, and I would challenge yourselves to find ways to pull more lightning bolts in general, just because of the usefulness of them. Obviously, this is just one war. You've probably had a few where like you've just pulled like a ton and stuff, and I think you even got like a few this war anyway. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I saw a lot of situations I think where you could have maybe gotten one, and I don't know. Getting even one extra one can sometimes be pretty impactful, right? It's not like it's a free win or anything, but you never know the opportunity, right? It's like on Grumble, right? I think that there was a pretty good window to, use a pretty good one there that may have been able to get enough to get like a plus 10 or something like that. But like, you also want to be in that situation where you have the opportunity to begin with, because if you aren't, maybe they just top 3 run and all of that. So,
yeah.
Overall, sorry, go ahead.
I agree on the whole. It's important that everyone can play a role whenever they need it. I think that's something. I mean, I can't see everyone's like point of view and stuff like that, but
yeah,
just the idea that if you're going into lap 2 with like no coins and you're in the back, slowing down is probably the play. Even if there's people already back there, because you never know. Like maybe someone who's called that they're bagging pulls Bill Golden, and now they can no longer fish for shock. So
correct.
This is something I think we do need to work on a little bit, but we do, we pull a decent amount, I'd like to think. So
yeah,
but it's still something for sure that would just increase the odds and help out a lot, and also just change the dynamic of the races a lot more, since like I think like there's a place for calling a designated bagger if it's like a cheese land, and it's like, okay, well I'll just run for now and we'll see what happens when we have these people in the back. Obviously if you pull a bill, then you have to catch up, but
yeah,
just from the start, I guess.
That's a good point, by the way, about bills and goldens, because those are like the bagger killing items, right? In a lot of situations, like, oh, if I'm like in the back and I pull that, it's like, all right, well, we need to pivot now. Somebody else is probably gonna have to realize that it's their turn, if they're in a not great situation, go for that roll. And if everybody's in a pretty good situation, then it's like maybe you don't need to go for it to begin with, because you probably have good spots at that point. But the new thing comes to like making sure you have dodges and are ready to prevent an opponent pulling it as well. So
yeah,
yep. All right. Well, I think that's probably it for today then. I did have one important, very shameless announcement to make at the end of the stream, but I believe I have earned it for 2 hours of fun VOD review. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm posting a Discord server in my chat. I'm hosting an FFA in 3 hours, and there's 11 spots left. So get in there, because we need to... we're testing some stuff for the Central Rank project next year, and we need some data. So if anybody wants to play the video game in 3 hours and hang out and have some fun, I think there's going to be a decent amount of people streaming it. Get in there, do your registrations. That would be excellent, in my opinion. So there's my shameless ad. Anyway, hope that this was all good. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, TM, for letting me stream this, of course. I enjoy doing the discussions like this. Don't know how much I'll do, like the full war looks and all that kind of stuff, but it sounded fun enough today, so that was cool. And good luck in the rest of your season, everybody.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Rookie.
Yep. Glad to be here. All right. See you all later. All right. Guys, thanks for watching again. I'm sorry I didn't have as much as I was hoping to as last time. I feel like last time there was like more of an... Last time I watched TM, I think there's like more of like a sense of like you guys like need to take shots and go for hits, because it feels like you are too passive sometimes. I think that's noticeably better now. I think early in the war we were seeing Triv take like a lot of shots in like Sherbert Land and Hyrule Circuit just in general, and I imagine, well, I can't find them now, but I assume a lot of you guys replicated that also. It's like, so yeah, that was good change. I think the next step is probably just to giving yourself more chances to pull lightning bolts and stuff like that, and 2, just working on frontal presence and all that kind of stuff, because I do think watching this war that NFO had pretty solid grasp on it throughout most of the match, and that may have been the difference right there. I know you guys practice your TTs and all that also. I know there's like the TT channel that Flurry runs and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, keep that up. Improve those lines, and hey, if next time I look at like a stream like this and like my thought is like, oh yeah, you guys should just be a little bit faster here, that means that a lot of progress has been made, because then it's just about optimizations if anything else. Anyways, who can I even raid? Let's take a look, I guess. Any wars going on right now? Don't see anything too interesting right here. Just a bunch of casual players, I think. Not that I hate casual players, but I like raiding, you know, the community people in general and all of that. Dang, maybe I should stream on Saturdays more. I feel like I have like the entire market, if you will. Is nobody playing Lounge or anything? What is going on? Guys, I may just raid something else. I'm not seeing like, I'm not seeing like a Lounge or anything. So this person's saying that they're playing Wars MKE. I don't know. I don't know if that's real, to be honest. All right, I'm just gonna send you guys over to Casper because I see him streaming Osu. So let's just do that. All right, thank you all. Love you all very much. Go say hi to Casper. All right, I'm gonna go eat food. All right, see y'all later. Peace.